Hello everyone, my name is Matt Stewart and I work with I work with OCMA. I help them with their database. I am making this video today to help people understand the registration process a little bit better. In front of me is the website for OCMA. As you move over here to the left, you see music class registration. Click on there and it brings you to the registration page. Right here on the right hand side are the new student registration and returning student registration. These are two buttons that you click on. You have the payment button, and then down here on the red is the medical release form. What you want to do with the medical release form is print that out ahead of time, fill it out completely, and then there will be an opportunity to upload that much like you would an email attachment while you're in the registration. I'm working on a way where this can be done all electronically so that you don't have to scan it. But right now it is print it, fill it out, and then scan it. All right, so first we have new student registration. The difference between that and the returning student is new student registrations are for people that have never registered or they're not in our database yet. So this creates a profile for them. Once you have that and you return for the next term, you would come here and do the returning student registration. So I'll go over both, let you see what it's like, and so let's start with the new student registration. And I'm going to get rid of these other tabs because we don't need those right now. Okay, so new student registration for OCMA. Read everything carefully, all the information here, really important. Right now, in this first field, you want to put the student's full name first and last. And the next field is their last name. This helps us for sorting through our information. So that's why we've got both fields like that. The student's full address. I'm finding that as people are registering, there are some that they don't have the complete address. I'm seeing their street or the house number and street name, but they're missing the city, state, and zip code. I think what's happening is sometimes as you're filling out the information, Podio recognizes where the address, and sometimes they'll not select the correct address. So make sure that you've got all of the information in here. And by the way, when I said Podio, that's the computer program that we're using to collect all this information. So then there's the student's phone number right here. The student's phone number is, we don't necessarily need one for the student unless they're an older student who may be playing a more, take more responsibility for their activity. Otherwise, you can leave this blank because we're going to have mom and dad's phone numbers in a different spot. The student's date of birth, this just helps us know how old some of the students are. Some of the older students might be ready for certain competitions, so it gives us an idea who's who. And the instrument, if your student plays more than one instrument, that's fantastic. Let us know. You can click on as many as they play, so let us know what that is. If you have any comments here, this could be my student has certain allergies or whatever is helpful for us to know your student better. This is where you can add that information. Now the parent relationship. This is mom and dad's name, phone number, email, address. As much as you can give us is great. We ask for mom and dad's because a lot of times dads do play a big role as well as the moms. So if you can give us both, that would be fantastic. Also, if you have multiple students, you're going to have to put this information in a couple times. I will be going through our database and merging the students onto one single parent relationship area. So, but yeah, if you could just let us fill this out as best you can, that would be fantastic. Now down here is, the contact type, obviously it's parent. So I might have to add one here that might say guardian or something if it's a different situation than a normal parent. But primary rehearsal location, you're going to choose where you take most of your classes. Occasionally you might have another location that you go to, but this would be your primary. So you just scroll through that. You can start typing in the name of the place if you happen to know what it is. Classes enrolled, if you would like to fill that out, that would be great. If you have a student photo that you would like to upload, this is where you can put it. Not mandatory, but it's nice to know so we can see who is who. It's much like attaching an attachment to an email. Down here is payment method, medical release form. Actually, I'm going to be removing this because this is sort of back end. You won't need to worry about filling that out. Photographer release form, you'll just go ahead and click on whether it's okay for us to use your kids' photos for marketing purposes. Not necessarily the profile photo that we were talking about up here, but if they're in rehearsal or at some competition, we take pictures and you're allowing us, if you select that option, for us to be able to use that to say, hey, look what we're doing. So then basically tuition per year. If you have multiple students, one student, this is where you would select that. And then that medical release form. This is where you would attach it. If you've taken the time ahead of time to fill it out completely, and I say completely because we've gotten a few where it's just not completed, or maybe it's not signed. So completely filled out, and then you would attach it here. Once you've done that, you just click on Submit Registration, and you're done. So that is for a new student who has never set up a profile in the past. So I'm going to go back to the website here, and now we're going to look at returning student registration. And you might say, hey, I don't remember if I've gone through the new student registration in the past. How do I find out if I've got my student's profile set up? Well, if you've set up, done the new student registration in the past, then their name is going to show up here. For example, I've got four kids that are in OCMA. I'm going to select my first one, my oldest son, which is Mason, and he shows up here, Mason Stewart. So if I had not registered Mason in the past, his name would not show up. So then I would know to go to the new student registration and create a profile or register him that way. But since I've already done that in the past, he shows up here. Next field here, class registration. You can select whatever classes that you're going to do. Again, the photographer release form. Yes, no, whichever one that you prefer. And then the payment method like we saw earlier. Actually, I don't know if we saw this before, but I'll have to update that on the new student registration. And then also comments. If there's any information that you need us to know, then this is where you would put it. And again, attachments. So the medical release form. We are supposed to have a new medical release form each term that we go. So this gives you an opportunity to add the most current version. So again, once you've selected everything, you hit submit and you're good to go. So again, thank you for your time. If you have any questions, we will have an address in the notes below. All right, thank you so much.